doing and hit that share button and tell everybody you know that your favorite motivator is about to get started.
The enigmatic entrepreneur whose words will make you sure. Know, trust, and believe. The master teacher has come to help you succeed. The gem dropper, the truth speaker, the voice in the universe that will bring you to your highest peak. Welcome to the Get High on Motivation Show with Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, love bugs, and welcome to another episode of the Get High on Motivation Show. I am Mimi the Motivator, your favorite motivator's favorite motivator. I am a holistic leadership development expert, which just is a fancy phrase to say that I help you get your life together in all aspects of it, because you are a whole person, and I believe that I can help you with your whole life, not just your business life, because I am a former business coach, and not just your health life, because I have definitely studied the body way more than the average bear, but I can get you a mind, your body, your spirit, and your finances right. I provide all the services to make that happen through coaching, consulting, financial services. It doesn't matter. Just know I am the one. So reach out to me and see how we can get it done, because I'll take you from where you are to where you desire to be. Whatever you desire, I believe that you deserve, and I'm going to do all that I can do to make that happen. So today we are talking about success. If you are interested in being successful, then you're in the right space. Now, if success is not on your mind, then go ahead and skip on to the next show or skip on to the last show of mine. But definitely know that if you have just the inkling for more success in your life, then this might be the show for you. It's definitely the show for you. Ain't no might about it, okay? So every show we begin with some food for thought. So today's food for thought comes from my Grammy. I mean, it really doesn't come from my Grammy. It's actually on a painting or on a picture that is hanging in our home. But she has had this on her answer machine seems like my entire life. She had it on the voicemail, the home voicemail, when I was a teenager, and then it went away. And then it got grown and it came back. And I was like, yes, yes. And they were words that are ingrained in my brain, and they are now on her current cell phone. And the words go like this: don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Just walk beside me and be my friend. That has been, like I said, ingrained in my brain. I've heard it over 1,000 times, probably 1,000,000 times in my lifetime. And it said a lot to me. Between that and my daddy telling me don't do what my friends want me to do and only do what I want to do, those two pieces of information have guided my way along the way. And today I hope that it can help you. Don't walk in front of people and think that you are the one and that you can guide them and you can lead them. A lot of us think that we can fix people's problems, or we are the one to make things right for them. But that's not what people need. Sometimes when people call us, all they need from us is a listening ear. They don't need guidance. They don't need direction. They don't need us to be Mr. or Mrs. Fix It in their life. Sometimes they just need us to be their friend. They need us to just walk beside them. And then the same, don't follow behind anybody. You are your own leader. I spent several years of my life looking for somebody to get behind that I could support, someone who had the community in mind and who wanted to make a difference and wanted to make an impact. And then one day I realized that that person was staring me back in the mirror. The person was me. It was me. It was me who I had to get behind. So lead yourself, follow yourself, and don't be out here looking for followers. If you're not willing to follow yourself, why should anybody else follow you? Just think about it. How many of us don't follow our own advice? How many of us are not an example of our own advice? Repeat after me. I am now demonstrating the best example of all my best advice. I am now demonstrating the best example of all my best advice. We have to practice what we preach. We have to be the example that we want to see in other people. We just can't tell other people to get their stuff together or to do this or to do that, to eat right, exercise, and. We got all these magic formulas for everybody in our life. But what is the magic formula for self is what we need to figure out. What do we need to do with ourselves? But if nothing else, when we are dealing with other people, let's just be with them. Let's just be present with them. Not try to guide them, not try to follow them, but just to simply walk beside them and be their friend. Too many people are out here friendless. And it's because people either want to guide you or want you to guide them. They say that the people are always looking for a king, but know that you are the king of yourself. You are the king of your own kingdom. You are the kingdom. So guide and direct and serve yourself. Have dominion over yourself and stop trying to exercise dominion over other people. That is the message for today. Let me get some water. So today I want to talk about success. I used to consider myself a success coach. Success was all I taught about for a long time. I've been teaching for a long time, teaching workshops all over the country. But in Tampa, one of the very first workshops that I remember presenting was about success. It was like a formula for success. And over the years, I have perfected this formula. Just in case you didn't know, I do have a degree in mathematics. So I actually went to school and somebody taught me something. Maybe they taught me something. I don't know. I learned a few things, but I got a degree in mathematics. And so I have a formula for just about everything under the sun. You can't it doesn't matter. I got a formula for it. I got a formula for waking up. I got a formula for going to sleep. I got a formula for eating the food. I got a formula for everything. But today I want to share my formula for success with you. But the thing is, we have to define success for ourselves. Okay. So know that I'm not going to necessarily give you a definition for success, but I am going to share some components of success, because success leaves clues and success is always successful. I heard those words this morning. They hit me like a ton of bricks. Success is always successful. So when you have put together a successful system to operate by, it's always going to work. I just taught my coaches this past week about standard operating procedures and how they really are about success. Having those SOPs, make sure that we have consistency, because consistency is something that brings success, right? But I don't want to get ahead of myself. But I want to consider, and I want you to consider, I actually want to challenge you to really define what is success for you. What does success look like for you? More importantly, what will success feel like to you? When you're successful, how will you know? Very many of us have not even sat down to even determine what does success look like for us. And if we don't know what it looks like, how are we going to know when we find it? That's why we have to define it. Nobody can define success for us. And a lot of us think, oh, success is what we can put on social media. Success is what's in our bank account. But that's not all that determines success. Money might just be the points on the board, but that doesn't mean success. You can put points on the board as a team all day, but that doesn't mean that you're going to win the Super Bowl or the championship game. So it's more than putting points on the board. What does success look like to you? What needs to be included for you to feel successful? Who needs to be included? And one thing, yes, to be included in that is, what is your bank balance? What does your bank balance need to reflect for you to feel successful? What does your home life look like for you to be successful? What would your relationships be like if you were in successful relationships? We have to define each one of these things in all the areas of our life. Again, how do we find something if we don't know what it looks like? How do you create something without knowing what it looks like? It all has to be created first in our mind before it can be created in reality. There is no house that is built without a blueprint, which means the house is completed before they even begin building it. So you have to start building what success looks like on paper for yourself before it can happen in reality. And it can't just be in your mind. You can't use your mind as a notepad. No. You have to write these things down, okay? So let me go ahead and start going through the components that I believe that no matter who you are, no matter where you are, no matter what it is that you're working for, working towards, that success can be yours. So success, my formula for success, I should have typed this, huh? Is E squared plus 3S plus 2C plus U equals 90% success. Don't worry about the math. Don't worry about the equation, but I am going to share it to you because I call it the Wells-Palmer theorem. So the Wells-Palmer theorem includes all these elements, starting with S, self-discipline. In order to be successful, you have to be self-disciplined. You have to do self-love, and self-love is not going and putting lace fronts on your head. And now we got the fellas out here wearing lace fronts. They wearing lace front hair and lace front beards. So know that that's not self-love. Self-love is self-discipline. Self-love is you saying you're going to do something and you doing it because you committed to yourself. Self-discipline is about being committed to yourself, not being committed to other people. That's not self-discipline when you do what somebody else is holding you accountable for. What are you holding yourself accountable for? Successful people have a routine. They definitely have a morning routine, but they have procedures. They have systems in place that they know if they follow these systems, if they do these things in this order of operations, I told you that's that math brain, it's going to work. Do you have a morning routine? Do you have a way for planning? Because success is going to require you to do some planning. And planning requires self-discipline. It requires self-discipline to sit down and pull out your calendar and map out your entire week. It takes self-discipline to sit down and map out the entire month. It takes self-discipline to sit down and go ahead and schedule out your posts for social media. That costs self-discipline. It don't cost money, it costs self-discipline. How much self-discipline are you willing to pay for your own success? Because I bet you're willing for other people to be disciplined in whatever it is that you're doing and that you may be paying them for. But you have to be self-disciplined if you really want that next level of success. You have to hold you accountable for what it is that you said you were going to do. You need to be your number one accountability partner. And your number two accountability partner will be your planner, your calendar, not your friend, not your bestie, not your business partner. You and your planner are your accountability partner. That's your mastermind right there. You need to meet weekly with your mastermind. You need to meet daily with your mastermind. You and your planner, not you and your friend and y'all swapping, telling each other what you're going to do. And then you get together the next week and say that you're going to do it again because you didn't do it last week. Come on, man. It's time out for that. This year is rolling past us. Time is rolling past us. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like time is moving faster. Does anybody else feel like that? Drop something in the chat box and let me know if you feel like time is moving faster. Come on, man. This is a real deal. So the next thing that's on my list of success is the U. And the U represents understanding. You have to understand what it is that you're doing. They say that a people without vision shall perish. What that means is not having order, not having direction, because you don't know what it is that you're really even working towards. You're just going to work, doing what you do. You might even own a business and you just doing what it is that you do. And you're wondering why you're not getting better results. It's because you don't have a clear vision of what it is that you're doing. Who are you doing it for? You can't save the whole entire world. You can't service the whole entire world. And the whole entire world ain't going to pay you for what it is that you came to do. But when you have a vision, your vision will guide your life. A vision statement is not just for a corporation. You should have your own personal vision statement that clearly defines what it is that you're setting out to do. You also have to have an understanding of how this is going to impact your life, how it's going to impact your energy level, how it's going to impact your calendar, how it's going to impact the people in your life and your relationships. Because when you get laser focused on something, you're not going to see anybody and you're not going to see anything else. And you have to warn the people in your life. You might need to sit down and have a conversation, especially if you're starting a business, and say, hey, I'm not going to be available anymore. If you're starting a doctoral program or some kind of certification program, even if it's just a 12-week program, like Unlock the Next Level of You, you got to let your people know, listen, I'm about to be dedicating some time to myself, and I'll be back. I don't care if it's the people in your household. Let them know I am going to be unavailable for the next 12 weeks because I am trying to get my SHIT together. I'm trying to get my shift together. So then the next thing on my list is consistency. Whew, this is hard. Consistency is hard. And this is why I had to include SOPs in what I do. It's why I encourage my coaches that I'm training to have SOPs, standard order operating procedures. It's not just for Army folks. You need to know how you're going to do stuff. Have a checklist. If it's important, have a checklist. Because if it's important, you want to make sure that you're doing it right every single time so you can produce consistent results. How many of us are not consistent in our actions? How many of us not even consistent in our branding? I can raise my hand on that. Are you consistent with your posting? Are you consistent with your phone calls to your family and to your friends and checking on people? Are you consistent in your work? Do you consistently provide your best? Now, I'm not going to say consistently provide 100% or 150, whatever your number is, because your best is going to change from day to day. And you have to be able to give yourself grace on those days when it changes. Be willing to know that sometimes your 100% ain't going to look like the 100% from last week or last year. And it won't look like your 100% tomorrow because you might feel better tomorrow. But you have to consistently show up for yourself. You have to consistently show up for your clients and your customers. You have to consistently show up for your audience. It's all about consistency. There's nobody who has been successful without consistency. They consistently did the same thing over and over and over in a certain type of way until they got recognized for doing it. Consistency is what you're known for. I read a book about this man who owns the Ice House. And his man's name was Uncle Cleve. And they said you could set your clock by Uncle Cleve because he consistently arrived on time. He consistently left early to be sure that he arrived on time. What do you consistently do? Because whatever you consistently do is going to be the story that's out there about you, especially as a business person. So what do you want people to say about you when they say your name? What do you want them to say when you step into the building? What they're going to say is what you're consistently known for because it's what you have consistently provided, consistently served up. I have consistently done this show every week for almost 5 years, y'all. That's consistency. So if you think that I'm doing a great job, no, it came from consistency. If you think that I can do a better job, that means I probably need to be more consistent in some other areas. Think about yourself in that same light. Where can you be more consistent? Where would you like greater results? So the next C in my row of success is courage. You have to have courage if you're going to build a business. You have to have courage to be an entrepreneur. You have to have courage to enter a new relationship. You have to have courage to enter an old relationship you used to be in. It all requires courage. So where do we get the courage from? We get the courage from building up our confidence. And how do you build up your confidence? You build your confidence up by building up your skills, by practicing. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. Back to consistency, right? But you have to have courage. And if you feel like you're afraid of life or you're afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, then do something that may not be in the realm where you want to bust out of your comfort zone and do it somewhere else. I needed more confidence in my business. I went ziplining. I have jumped out of an airplane. Do you know how much confidence that gives you when you know that you have jumped out of an airplane, something that most people are never going to do? It hits different when you do stuff that's outside of the box. You can build your confidence with this simple exercise. And it's going to sound crazy, love bug, but trust me on this one. Today, no matter where you are in public, I want you to go lay down on the ground for 10 seconds. 10 seconds, that's it. 10 seconds is that long. You probably can take a deep inhale and a deep exhale and your 10 seconds will be up. And then get back up. One thing you're probably thinking is everybody's going to think I'm crazy. Why are we worried about what other people think? That's not what we're here for. We're not in business for other people. We're not living this life for other people. So lay on the ground for the 10 seconds, because you're going to realize ain't nobody paying you no attention anyway, but it's going to build your confidence. But then I need you to go do it a second time somewhere else. And it needs to be a space where it's people. Don't go lay down and ain't nobody going down the street. That ain't going to work. Lay down in the mall. Lay down in the airport. That's where I've done it. Lay down in your child's school. 10 seconds. And if people do come looking for you and checking on you, just let them know I'm just practicing an exercise. Or I just needed a break. Tell them something and laugh. Who cares? It's none of their business. You're minding your own business. And we need to start minding the business that pays us. Let's talk about that next week. But we have to have courage. And the courage literally comes from building confidence. Anybody that's courageous, a warrior is courageous because they have done the drills. They have lifted the weights. They've eaten the right foods. They've learned the right tactics. Have you learned the right tactics for what it is that you're doing out here? I don't care if it's in your relationship and you're trying to make a better marriage. Have you learned the tactics of being a great husband or the tactics of being a great wife? We have to have skills in order to build up our confidence. Build your skill set up, you build your confidence up. You build your confidence up, then you are going to be courageous. And courage is only the willingness to face your fears. That's it. I'm not saying you're going to conquer your fears, but you do have to have the willingness to face them. That's it. So next is E squared, because if we're going to be successful, it requires two things: energy and enthusiasm. You got to be excited about what it is that you're doing. You got to be excited about your product. You got to be excited about your service. I need to be excited about you joining me for Unlock the Next Level of You. I got to be excited, because if I'm excited, you're going to get excited. It's just like when a band is on stage. The singer gets excited, the band gets excited, then the crowd gets excited. Can you get people excited about you? Can you get people excited about your business or your business idea, even if your business is not a thing yet? Can you get your boo excited about a vacation or about having a better and new relationship? You got to be excited. Enthusiasm is the adrenaline that will push through the hard times. That's what it is. It's a psychological adrenaline. So be enthusiastic every single day. Wake up, get hype. Play a hype song if that's what you got to do, but make sure that you are hype. Hey, Jazzy baby. So then there's energy, baby. You need energy when you're building a business. You need energy to deal with life, period. And we have to maintain our energy. A lot of us are just eating just to be eating, to be full, because we can say we ate 3 meals today or 2 meals, or some of us are eating 1 meal a day and acting like we're doing something, and the meal was some crap. We have to feed our bodies the right foods. We have to get rest. I'm going to say that again. We have to get rest. I'm going to say it 3 times. We have to get rest. You need a nap. It's okay to take a nap. It's okay to be a grown person and take a nap. You don't have to be a child. Or when your children take a nap with them, boo. You need a nap. I know you need a nap because you've been going hard. You've been working hard. You've been playing hard. Even playing hard requires a nap. You need a nap. You need to make sure that you are resting, not just sleeping. And don't be sleeping so much that you're not getting stuff done. But we do need rest. Take a yoga nidra. Sometimes just sit there and do nothing. Turn the lights off. Turn off the phone and just sit there for a little while. Because you need to rest. Rest your mind. Rest your body. Your mind is going constantly, trying to figure everything out. Trying to figure out your personal world. Trying to figure out your professional world. You need to rest, boo. Just take a rest. Take a load off for a few minutes. Your rest can be a 2-minute rest. You can't tell me you only got 2 minutes to rest. You got it. Exercise. I know you don't want to hear that, right? Who wants to hear, oh, you need to exercise? Yes, you do. I don't care if it's getting outside and walking for 20 minutes. Get outside and walk. You don't need no gym membership for that. Some people say, oh, I'm with the gym. I can't go to the gym. I don't get time for the gym. Man, come on. Take the steps instead of taking the elevator. Incorporate exercise into your daily day. Figure it out. Park a little further away from the door and make it a long walk to the grocery store for an entrance. And then you get the steps that's in there. Count those steps. Challenge yourself to outdo yourself each day. Get some more steps in each day. But make it your business to get some exercise in. Make it your business to just do some jumping jacks. You got time to do some jumping jacks and get them happy chemicals going in your body. Come on. Love bug, you're worth it. You're worth the good energy. You're worth the attention. You're worth the time. How about that? You give your time to everybody else. How about you give some time to yourself? It goes back to the first S of self-discipline. Because it does require self-discipline to eat right. It requires self-discipline to go to bed when you know you need to go to bed. It requires self-discipline to get out here and go exercise. So what else does it require? It requires sometimes a little bit of sacrifice. Now, I really don't like using the word sacrifice because a lot of times sacrifice means that we have to go without something that we desire, want, or need for somebody else or for something else. That's not the kind of sacrifice I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you're going to have to sacrifice the stuff that's the extra. Like you might have to sacrifice going out a few weekends. You might have to sacrifice, a few going out to eat meals. You might have to sacrifice a little bit of your time to devote it to yourself, devote it to your craft, to growing, to learning, to building, all that good stuff. But it is going to require some sacrifice of you, not sacrifice of other people. So stop looking for other people to sacrifice for your vision. Stop looking for people to sacrifice for your happiness. Ooh. Because guess what? Your happiness is your own responsibility. It's not their responsibility. It's yours. So how about you sacrifice the time, sacrifice some of that self-discipline to get it right. We sacrifice time to go get nails done and all kind of other stuff. But how about we sacrifice the time to get our mind right, to get our spirit right? How about we sacrifice a couple dollars and put them in the places where we need to grow? Too many of us do not invest any money into personal development. But yeah, we want a better life. When you want a better car, you invest in a better car. When you want better food, you go to the better restaurant. But how about you invest in a better you? Now, this last element is the easiest, which is to start. Success requires you to start. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start in order to be great. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everybody. You don't even know how it's going to have to work. But you do have to take the first step. When you take that first step, then the universe starts taking steps for you. And then when you take another step, the universe keeps stepping. So if you keep on taking steps towards your destiny, towards what you desire, then some stuff is just going to magically start happening. Stuff is going to start shifting and moving, and things are going to just fall in your lap. And you're going to be like, what the whoop? So start working on what it is that you desire. Start working on that new body. Start working on that new relationship. Start working on that new job, that new business, whatever newness that you desire. Because whatever you desire, you deserve. And that's why you tuned into today's show. So keep tuning in, and I'll see you next week. We out of time, boo. I love you. Be happy. Be healthy. Be you. And keep working on being 1% better in one area of your life.